I'm Doug Flutie from Boston College days with Tom Coughlin, and this is the Tom Coughlin J Fund Radiothon on 1010XL.
Call 904-207-7070 now.
Second down, 13. At the 45 of Baltimore. Brunell back in the pocket. Has a bit of time. Now being chased. Plants throws. He's looking downfield. He's got a receiver. And it is caught. Jimmy Smith at the 5. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. He beats Wayne Starks for 45 yards.
Barks out for signals. Drops to throw. Has time. Fires the slant. Jimmy's got it this time. 35, 30. Middle of the field. 20. He's going to the 20-yard line. He's going to score. 10, 5. Jimmy Smith. Touchdown. And the Jaguars are right back in this ball game. Barks out the signals. Pressure coming. Steps up. Steps. Turns. Throws. He's got Jimmy. First down. 20. There he goes. 10, 5. Touchdown. Win. Jacksonville. Done under pressure. Steps to avoid. Turns and throws. He's got him in. Caught Jimmy. Inside the 40-yard line to the 37 and down to the 36.
Congratulations to Jimmy Smith. That is now his 800th career reception, and what a play to get it on.
This team winning right now, it helps bring so much attention to our franchise, what we did back in the day, like we were talking about, these Hall of Fame conversations. But when we're winning, we see the conversations pick up. So we have noticed that. So obviously, I'm pulling for my team to get to this Super Bowl.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome into Jaguars Today, although the bigger picture should be evident by now if you've been listening to 1010XL at all on this Wednesday. You know that today is the annual Tom Coughlin J Fund Radiothon. We invite you to be there for families tackling childhood cancer all across the First Coast, and we'll tell you how to do that throughout the course of the next 2 hours and all day long. Good morning, Tony. How are you?
Doing well.
It's a great day for Jacksonville every year. It's not because of anything we do. It's because of the generosity of the listening audience and the people that support the J Fund, not only today, but year-round.
No doubt. Look, it's an honor to be able to be a part of it every year. Right. When we do this, it's terrible that it's something that needs to exist still. And as we talk about every year, we mention it. It's like hopefully one day soon we won't have to be doing this, right? And have to have this cause that we're raising money for families and children here in our area. But it's here. It's real. And the city has an opportunity to step in the gap for these families and hold the door for them, right? When these kind of things are going on, it's obviously a terrible situation. I'm honored every year that we get to be a part of it, and I'm past being surprised at how much the city is willing to give back to the families in this community and do what they can to help them as they're going through. You can never anticipate it when it happens. It's obviously going to be a shock, a surprise, and we'll hear the stories as we go throughout the show today. But I'm done being surprised at how giving the city of Jacksonville is when we get to this every year.
Our goal today is to raise over $250,000.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, which is just crazy. I remember the first time we got to 50,000, we thought, this is insane.
Yeah.
And it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, seemingly every year. He didn't ask me to do this, but shout out to our man Doom, who probably, outside of someone who actually plays in the NFL, probably has been mentioned more on this show than just about anybody, right?
Yeah,
I mean, and other than someone who actually works on the program, although Doom did guest host 7 or 8 times.
He has,
way back in the day. But Doom, his company matches charitable donations, made, I guess, probably at a certain time of year, whatever the case may be. But he made his annual $1,200 donation, which gets matched by his company to $2,400, which great use of your resources right there. $100 a month. We ask folks, look, give anything you can. $5, honestly, $1, whatever. I mean, everything adds up ultimately, but we'd really like you, if you're able to, consider donating $115. And the shame of that is that number has risen because that represents the amount of kids who are diagnosed with cancer every year in the Jacksonville area. For a while there, it was in the 90s, right? But Jacksonville's population is growing. Cancer doesn't ever seem to stop, right? Mm-hmm. The J Fund's not trying to cure cancer. They're trying to help families deal with the effects of that diagnosis. And, we talk about it every year, and probably there are plenty of people out there listening who go, we know, we get it. We know what the J Fund is. Not everybody does. And that's why we like to remind you about how great this organization is and what they do year-round for the city of Jacksonville. And the people here, and Tom Coughlin's got a branch up into the New York, New Jersey area. You know, he never left Jacksonville.
Right.
His heart never left Jacksonville, and has always kept that commitment here. And it's been going since, 1996 with the J Fund. And they've raised, oh, my gosh, what's the number? It's over $50 million. I think I might have that number wrong. It's $28 million. I'm sorry, $28 million. That's a ton of money. And what does that money do? Well, they're raising money. That's fantastic. They help these families pay their light bill at times, right? I mean, you think about it. Your kid's in the hospital, just got diagnosed with cancer. You don't want to leave their side. You don't want to work, or you might not be able to work. You know, you've got to give constant round-the-clock care. Plus, you've got other kids maybe in the family, and everybody's got to be attended to. And the J Fund steps in to fill in the gaps, right? They pay bills, they provide meals, they provide transportation, they do so many different things.
Well, the last few years have been complicated by COVID, right? Like, there were families that were left with mom and dad not being able to work. You still have kids at home. If this came on top of you while you were dealing with that as well, I mean, I can't even imagine what would be going through your mind when you got that. And the J Fund is willing to step in, and they're going to say, you don't have to worry about this. Worry about the kid, right? Like, they're willing to put them in a position where all the focus goes where it needs to be, on the kids, on the family, instead of having to deal with, do I have enough gas to get them to the hospital this week?
Right.
You know, like those kind of things. They shouldn't have to be worrying about that when they have everything else going on. The J Fund steps in and says you don't, right? And that's what you're giving to today, is they're stepping in on behalf of you having stepped in with whatever you donate today. They're giving it to the families that need it when they need it in their most desperate times. You have an opportunity to really make an impact on people's lives today with just a few dollars.
And I've never heard of a single family being turned away.
Yeah.
That has approached the J Fund with an actual need. They've been taken care of. And that money, every dollar you donate, every penny you donate today stays right here in the Jacksonville area. And
it's your neighbors.
It absolutely is. It might be your family one day, and hopefully it's not, right? Hopefully we don't want any of these people to have to deal with it. And the families, and we're going to have more of them come in here and share their stories today, because they are emotionally impactful, and they tug on people's heartstrings, and whatever it takes to get you to step up and continue your support for the J Fund is much appreciated. But we'll hear some of those stories today about exactly, specifically, what the J Fund has been able to do for some local families. So I'll try to keep it positive today. It's been a few days of negativity
no doubt
around here. By the way, 9 o'clock hour, $23,000 plus, nearly $24,000 raised between 9 and 10 o'clock. So there you go.
That's awesome.
The drill got pledges of close to $92,000. I'll tell you that right now. We're not going to match that, right? But we'll do what we can. I don't know what to tell you, you know. Congratulations to the drill. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't support. Look, I don't care if you made a donation. Make another one if you want to. I'll make mine today before we get out of here at noon. Do it every single year. And, again, hopefully one day we won't be in a position where we need to. But instead of thinking about calling our show today and making your pitch for Travis Hunter, which we know how you feel, okay? At least the ones who want Travis Hunter.
Season has been opened.
Not I get it. You're right. Not everybody wants the same thing out there. We encourage you today to call 904-207-7070. 904-207-7070, or you can text the word GOAL, GOAL, to 44834. And by doing that, you can support some of these folks here. Like we said, your friends, family, neighbors, strangers, whatever the case may be, you know, and just give as much as you possibly can. Give till it hurts at least a little bit. Maybe give something up here this holiday season for yourself, and just think there before the grace of God goes I or my family, or even worse, my child specifically. So that's what we've got going on today here. John Oehser will join us in the second hour. I mean, we're going to talk a little Jaguar football in the mix here, Tony, but that's not our primary focus today. So, look, if you like Jaguars today, we encourage you to donate. If you hate Jaguars today, we encourage you to donate, right? If you're kind of like, I'm not sure about those guys, please donate to the J Fund today. We will hear a little bit from Walker Little, who spoke on Monday, the day after it was announced that he had gotten his contract extension, what that means for him now, staying here in the city of Jacksonville. Also hear from Foye Oluokun, who spoke with the media on Monday as well. I'm just really trying to, at this point, have the approach of, anybody who wants to defend what went down on the field on Sunday in terms of the hit delivered to Trevor Lawrence, I'm trying to block those people out of my thought process. Like, I can't have a logical conversation with that level of person, and we saw what was going on with D'Amico Ryans and then Nick Caserio, the GM there. They're basically trying to tell you, don't believe your lying eyes what you saw.
Yeah, I don't have a big issue with the conversation about, the sliding in the NFL and players that have been trying to take advantage of that rule to create bigger play. Like, I don't have an issue with that being a conversation, and it's just something we can do about going forward in the NFL. That's not what happened with Trevor Lawrence.
No.
It's not close to what happened with Trevor Lawrence. He gave himself up, and a guy took a cheap shot, and it wound up with a serious concussion. The suspension is justified, right? Like, I can understand the conversation about the sliding rules in the NFL and quarterbacks taking advantage of it. Fine. Trevor didn't do that. That's nonsense. Mahomes does that from time to time. We've seen players take advantage of those situations. Trevor didn't do that, didn't try to do that, didn't look like he was attempting to do that. It's ridiculous to bring that into this situation. The broader conversation about it, fine, but it doesn't apply to what happened on Sunday between the Texans and the Jaguars.
Right. If you just want to, even beyond the fake sliding, if you want to have a conversation about people sliding late, that's fine too. He didn't slide late.
He didn't.
I mean, you can see there are a bunch of still shots out there. I mean, I don't know how many yards you're supposed to give a defender and how many defenders we've seen in shorter spaces be able to contort their body so they don't make a direct hit to that player's head. Right. And so anyway, we all know what went down. Yeah. And I don't know if we need to beat it into the ground anymore. I just I'm a little bit I get defending your player to some degree, but there's a way to do it without denying basic reality. And I feel that's what the Houston Texan organization is up to. And, for a lot of people, they've moved up to public enemy number one on their hit list. That's up for you to decide. All right. Today, the enemy is cancer. Right. And that's a big one. It takes everybody to tackle it, and you're not always going to win the battle, but you can help ease the burden of the families that have been receiving diagnoses of childhood cancer here on the First Coast. 115 on average every year now. And again, donate $115 in reflection of that, or anything you can. $5, $50, $500. You don't have to stop at 115. You can go as high as you can. So call today, 904-207-7070, or text the word GOAL, GOAL, to 44834. You can also go to tcjfund.org/radiothon, I think, and donate online that way if you'd like. We've got our first guest coming in studio next, and we'll hear their story about their diagnosis and what the J Fund has stepped in to be able to do to help them alleviate some of that burden. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith. Good morning, Dylan Denmark, by the way.
Good morning, Mike. How
I
you
don't
doing?
think we said anything to you today.
I'm just chilling over here.
All right, you're doing a great job of it.
Thank you.
So appreciate your mere presence on what's a very important day here for 1010XL. All right, we'll get into it over the course of the next 2 hours. Again, John Oehser will be along. We will hear from Walker Little, Foye Oluokun, a little bit from Doug Peterson, as well as Doug will speak again to the media today. I hope he gets asked about the Texans' pointed defense of their player, and I'd like to see Doug a little bit more full-throated on just how stupid those people in Houston sound over the last several days. We'll see if that comes to pass. All right, we're ready to roll. This is Jaguars Today on the very important Tom Coughlin J Fund Radiothon Day on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here. In North Florida, temperatures can go all over the place. Right now, they're kind of cool, so maybe you don't need your AC. But when you need help now, like right now, like lickety-split, call lickety-split and get same-day emergency service, not only for your air conditioning, your home's plumbing, and electrical, too. They can handle it all. They've got a fleet of trucks with dozens of certified technicians ready to repair your issue immediately. Lickety Split. Get it done when you want it done and get it done right. Call Lickety Split.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
If you're feeling undervalued where you bank or lost in the shuffle, it might be time for a change. Community First Credit Union makes changing easy and worth it. We've been helping the people of North Florida live their best lives for over 9 decades, and we're here to help you too. If you open a Community First checking account, we'll give you a $200 bonus, and you don't have to refer anyone to get it. Visit communityfirstfl.org for details. Member NCUA. Bonus requires deposits totaling $1,000 or more and 10 debit transactions within the first 90 days of account opening.
We're HAPPY, HAPPY, because Happy Honda Days are here. Everything is bigger. Bigger selection, bigger discounts, bigger trade-in values. Honda, quality, value, safety. Don't miss Happy Honda Days, going on now at your local Honda dealer.
The Sawgrass Marriott Golf Resort and Spa is the perfect place for indulging in a pampering spa treatment. This holiday season, give the gift of wellness with a gift card and take advantage of the spa's current promotion. With the purchase of a $75 gift card or more, guests get a credit towards a future service. With healing massages, revitalizing facial treatments, and more, a day at the Sawgrass Spa makes the perfect gift. Purchase in person at Sawgrass Spa during operating hours.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on Jaguars Today. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, your long-term solution for weight loss.
Hey gang, Prosser here, telling you once again about Chad and Sandy Newman. Mortgage rates are down, creating more active buyers and sellers. If you've been waiting, now is a great time to sell your home before more homes flood the market, driving down prices. So maybe you want guaranteed no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. They can handle that. You see, Chad and Sandy can take every problem you think you have and replace it with a promise. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. The success stories are rolling in. Mike and Lisa in McCormick. We inherited a family home that came with equity but also a mortgage. We needed to sell fast to avoid extra expenses on a second mortgage. We heard about Chad and Sandy on the radio and called. Everything they say on the radio is true. The home sold in 3 days for full asking price. Call Chad and Sandy today, 904-414-6200, or go to chadandsandy.com. That's ChadAndSandy.com.
Hello, I'm Malcolm Anthony. I've been practicing criminal defense law for over 40 years. It's what I love to do. It's what I do well. Stay out of trouble, but if you don't, call me, Malcolm Anthony, at 285-4LAW. 285-4LAW for Malcolm Anthony.
Now is a great time to be there for J Fund families. Text the word GOAL to 44834.
Jacksonville contractors and business owners. Do you need chain link fence, commercial steel, or rolling doors? Frank Frangie here. Coyle & Sons has been in business in Jacksonville since 1927. They've earned the reputation of quality and specialized skill. Coyle & Sons are the ones trusted in Jacksonville by the top contractors, and they can stand on their reputation when you need almost 100 years of commercial contractor experience. So contact Coyle & Sons today. That's 904-356-4821, or visit them at coiljacks.com.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
This is Corona Premier. Just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. It's a light beer that... Wait, this is a light beer? But we should really tell people about... Right, that's why I'm here. Sorry. Corona Premier, unexpectedly, light beer.
Hacker here. I know I've been sharing my Awaken 180 story for a while now, talking about how much I lost every week, and yeah, that's cool, but I get it, redundant. So let me tell you something that hit me like a freight train the other day. I checked out my Awaken 180 weigh-in portal, and the number just clicked. I started at nearly 320 pounds, and today, my scale read just over 200 pounds. Let that sink in. I'm now lighter than 90% of my buddies. And let me tell you, you, that's a flex I couldn't dream of a year ago. I owe it all to my Awaken 180 coach and to the program set out to work for anyone. It's been absolutely life-changing. Don't just take my word for it. Head over to my Twitter at RyanGreen1010XL. You'll see the transformation for yourself. But the real transformation, that's how I feel every single day, every step I take, and every morning I wake up. Get that same feeling. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Sports fans, JJ LaSalva here. When I need to send my bride flowers or a plant for birthdays or anniversaries, I always go with Kuhn Flowers. After all, they've been the leading florist in these parts for over 75 years. You can always rely on Kuhn Flowers.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I'm Josh Scobie on 1010XL 92.5 FM. This is the Tom Coughlin J Fund Radiothon.
Call 207-7070 now.
That's appropriate. Apparently, Scobie just called Dylan in there, didn't he, Dylan?
Yes, sir. I want to make a donation.
Well, Scobie, hang up and call 904-207-7070. That's the Community First Hope Hub. There are a bunch of volunteers down the hall taking your calls all day long here on 1010XL. You can also text GOAL, G-O-A-L, to 44834. And I know Scobie's got some of that sweet NFL money.
I know he does.
Cheap.
Like when we were told that Scobie had called, I was like, man, because now we had the information that was brought to us during the break that we're $25,000 away from $2 million on this station in the history of us doing the J Fund. I was like, Scobie could cover that, right? Like if we had known that Scobie was going to be calling, Scobie could cover that if he wanted to, that kind of thing.
Technically, I could probably cover that if I wanted to.
This is a day we're not shy about asking.
You're right. It's a 17-year total that we're bearing in on $2 million raised thanks to the generosity of the people of Jacksonville here. So like to see that goal reached as quickly as possible. But right now, let's welcome in a couple of special guests. Eric and Catherine Anderson are the parents of 4 children, but Griffin, the youngest, only 2 years old, was recently diagnosed with Ewing's sarcoma. And, all this stuff is stuff we don't want to know about. I'm sure Eric and Catherine didn't want to know about Ewing sarcoma at all as well. But, Catherine, I'll start with you. You're telling me just the way this diagnosis came about, kind of happenstance, but a fortunate accident, I suppose.
He was hanging out with his older brother in his bunk bed, and his brother got down to go grab something, and Griffin tried to follow him and fell down the ladder, and we thought he broke his clavicle and went to the ER that night, and that's where we found that he actually had a massive tumor encirculating his entire humerus, and that's when we started finding that this was actually cancer and not an accident, not just an accident.
Sure, right. I mean, you don't want to find that out, but you don't want to not know either.
He had no symptoms before he fell. I mean, he had spent the weekend playing. We were at soccer games, baseball tournaments for his siblings, and he was totally fine running around. And next thing you know, we were in the hospital for a week.
Wow. Eric, just and both of you, thank you so much for coming in. I know it can't be, I assume, not easy to talk about, but just take us back to that, kind of period of time. And as a family, what are you thinking? What are you going through at that moment?
Yeah, we were thinking about the kids at first, right? This is a new thing. They don't understand cancer, right? They know that Griffin's going to go through something, but they're not seeing it yet, right? So the very beginning stages, just trying to get them to understand, like, hey, thank you. Thank you for letting you play with your brother. He fell off the bunk bed. We found this early. We're able to treat it early, right? Just getting them to understand, like, it's okay. It's okay to go through this process. And then as they get into the cycles, they start to see the change.
Sure.
Right? They see Griffin's hair fall out. His eyelashes fall out. You know, he's totally bald now. They're like, oh my goodness, what's going on? But he's still the same little 2-year-old, right? He's still playing. He's running around. He's doing things. And they're just so grateful for that experience.
How is he doing?
He's doing really good, I would say.
Yeah, he's doing really good right now. We're almost done with chemo. He did need to have his arm amputated back in September for the cancer. And so that was something we were really worried about. How would he deal with it? How would our other kids deal with it? How would we deal with it? And I mean, he was literally jumping in the hospital 24 hours later, like running around.
Kids are amazing.
He was on the playground at Ronald McDonald House 2 days later, going down the slide. So, I mean, he's doing amazing. He was doing somersaults in our living room before we left here today.
Unbelievable.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned the 2 brothers and a sister, if I got that right. Like, he is the youngest of 4. How has everyone in the house handled it? You mentioned, they were surprised at first. They're still seeing the changes as they're happening with their little brother. But how have they handled it? And what has the J Fund done for everybody, right, with trying to keep it as normal, at least as they can in this situation?
I mean, they were definitely worried. I think the amputation part they were worried about the most of, like, how he would be. And I remember when we got home from Tampa, because that's where we went for his surgery, my son was like, oh, he's like the same. He's still Griffin. The J Fund has been amazing. They have like sibling opportunities for the kids. So actually, while we were in Tampa, they had a sibling event, which was great because we were gone for 2 weeks. And they went, I think they went to Pump It Up in Jacksonville, and they had fun. They had pizza. They played a lot. They came and like, oh, we had a great time. The boys went to summer camp with the J Fund over the summer, and I think it was like 4 nights. I think got cut short a little bit by the hurricane that rolled through. But, I mean, they had a great time. They got to go fishing and go horseback riding and eat food, and it was amazing because our one son has celiac, and I didn't even have to worry about him. They were able to, like, provide his food, and it was, like, one less thing I had to worry about. Just getting him to camp, and they had a great time. So they've been able to do some fun things and kind of just have like normalcy in the midst of this craziness.
It's so important, right? We've heard from families for years now about this. Like, your focus has to go on your sick child, right? But you have 3 other children that you're responsible for, and they deserve attention and love and all that. And the J Fund doesn't replace you in that role. They just help you out, and realize that those kids are, in need of some special care as well. So tell us, Eric, just did you guys know about the J Fund at the time? And if not, how did the J Fund come into your lives?
Yeah, we had no idea about the J Fund. It was thanks to our social worker at the hospital that introduced us to the J Fund. We're so grateful for that, right? Because we didn't understand, right? When you first get the diagnosis, you're like, okay, like we have to focus on the treatment, right? What do we need to do to get this cancer out of Griffin?
Sure.
But then we didn't realize the support that we needed from the community, like the J Fund, right? Helping us with groceries, with gas cards to get to and from the hospital. And then they've just been there, right? That's one thing I can say is that they've been present. When we go to the hospital, we see Rita, we see Susie, we see the people from the J Fund. They're there supporting us and other families.
Sure. Yeah, they fill in the gaps, right? I mean, that's what they're there for, to help you out. And it's been an amazing track record of what they've been able to do here. So if you could, Catherine, kind of in your own words, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I know why it's important, but, we run into people all the time like yourselves. You didn't know about the J Fund. There are people listening right now. This is the first exposure that they've had to this charity. So if you could tell folks why you think it's important that they support this organization.
I mean, they're filling in the gaps. I've had to not work at all pretty much since Griffin's diagnosis, and that's a huge hit to our income. And that they are able to support us with grocery cards, gas cards. They blessed us with this amazing grocery shopping spree. When we're at the hospital, if I pack snacks and then Griffin decides, well, that's not what I want to eat, and they have an entire room full of snacks, and he will head down there and find something to pick out, and it just relieves like so much just pressure that you have. Like you try to think about everything when you're going to the hospital and pack it all, and it's just, I don't know, there's somebody has your back, and it's just a relief to know that there's like someone else there that's walking this with you, or just a phone call away if you need something too.
And as much as your kids, I'm sure, meet other kids, siblings of children who've been diagnosed with cancer, it's probably good for you guys to be amongst a kind of supportive group of parents who've been down that road as well, Eric, and kind of know what you're going through here.
Yeah, even talking through the chemo, right? Like, hey, what did your kid have to go through? And seeing the similar treatments and the cycles. And there's other families that are in the hospitals for weeks or months, right? And luckily, we don't have to go through those cycles, but understanding their story helps support us as well.
Sure.
Yep.
So other than doing somersaults, what is Griffin like? I mean, what's his personality like?
He just wants to be part of the big kids. He wants to do whatever they're doing. If they're riding their bikes to school, he's pulling his little ride-on bike and trying to follow them. He is sitting there trying to play Fortnite with his brothers, got his own little controller. He just thinks he's
being a kid,
one of the big guys, and he can do whatever. Yeah, they had a lightsaber fight the other morning.
It's pretty entertaining with one arm. He's a lightsaber, and it's all good. Yeah,
I mean, you do what you have to do, and really, if you never again want to be in this circumstance, but 2-year-old is going to adapt to just about anything, and it sounds like you got a special kid there and a really nice.
Yeah, I think in all this,
family.
That's been I think probably the biggest blessing is that he's so little, so he doesn't know any difference. And he thinks he's going to the hospital. He's seeing all his friends, his nurses, and his friends that are at the hospital. And there's game room and stuff to do. And so he thinks he's just having fun. And it's just kind of normal for him, which is like hard to say. But also, like, I'm glad that, for him mentally, like, he's just having fun.
Well, if you can picture yourself, I'm speaking to the listening audience here, in the shoes of the Andersons here, and what that must have been like to have that diagnosis, no matter how well you're doing now, it's got to be devastating when you hear it. And, put yourself in the mind of those children that got a sibling that are dealing with something strange and different for the first time. And, of course, Griffin himself, if that moves you to donate, we'd love to hear from you. So you can call the Community First Hope Hub. The number is 904-207-7070. We do ask for a donation of $115. If you can do it, we'll take 50, we'll take 20, we'll take 5,000, whatever you can give. Text the word GOAL, GOAL, to 44834. And please help the J Fund continue to support families like the Andersons until there's no more need for the J Fund here. And we hope that day comes, but it's probably a long time off in the future, and we're glad the J Fund's here. And folks, we're glad you're part of the J Fund family. We're not glad about the circumstances, but we're glad that you found the J Fund in your situation, and that they've been able to help you out. And absolutely appreciate you coming in and talking about this. And I'm sure it's not easy to do, but it means a lot, and you're probably going to help a lot of other families down the line. So thank you both very much for your time today.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Eric and Catherine Anderson, and their 4 children. Griffin, our focus today. So again, call the Community First Hope Hub, 904-207-7070, and make as big a donation as you possibly can. We'll have more guests coming up in the second hour today. We'll have some matching donations coming up as well that we'll tell you about. But coming up next, we'll turn our attention briefly back to Jaguar football. Hear a little bit from Walker Little and Foye Oluwakin as they spoke to the media on Monday after the Jags' latest game, a 23-20 loss to the Houston Texans. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark here with you as we continue along the Tom Coughlin J Fund Radiothon on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Pella Windows and Doors. You hear me talking about these guys all the time. Had a golf ball crash through my living room window. Well, it was time to just replace everything in the house, including the sliding glass door. I went with the best in the business. That's what Consumer Reports told me. And guess what? I back them up. Pella is fantastic. My house is more energy efficient. It looks great. The resale value is even higher than ever before. You can go to PellaJacks.com online to find out all about your next project, or just swing by their showroom on Phillips Highway. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
Jaguars today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
This is the Mangler. Years of playing football coupled with lifestyle left my feet mangled with neuropathy. I was experiencing burning, tingling, and numbness. I spoke with 2 foot specialists, and they told me there was no cure. They were wrong. I found Dr. Nate Riddle in Ponte Vedra. After utilizing his neuropathy treatment for only 2 weeks, I noticed a difference in my feet. I was regaining my feeling and balance. If you want relief from nerve pain, call Dr. Nate for a free consultation at Riddle Wellness, 904-395-5598.
When mice and rats show up in your space, they can be a real pain. You need them out fast before they have time to multiply. Terminix knows how to shut down rodents, and they'll keep them from coming back to wreak more havoc. When rodents show up, so do we. Don't live with a rodent problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com.
Now, the Performance Painting High Performance Play of the Game. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
The Young Guns kept their fight even when facing a deficit, and Big Mac would deliver in a huge moment for Jacksonville off the bench. Mac Jones would find Parker Washington for a 22-yard touchdown, making the score 23-12 with 7:49 left in the third period. The Washington score is your Performance Painting Play of the Game.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting. It's a Weight Loss Wednesday.
On Jaguars Today.
Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
The Golf Club of Southampton has plenty going on, from a great round to a round with your buds, soaking up some football and great grub. Every Saturday and Sunday at Southampton, enjoy their game day special. Wings tossed in your favorite sauce and a cold pitcher of beer. Membership opportunities to take advantage of, too. Join Southampton with a paid initiation, and you'll get a $500 gift card. Perfect for golf, pro shop purchases, or the clubhouse. Check it out. It's all happening at the Golf Club of Southampton.
It's a sale so big, Santa wants to get in on it.
It's Beard's Diamonds' incredible 44th anniversary sale, held over till Christmas Eve. Everything store-wide is on sale, up to 44% off.
Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center or beardsdiamonds.com.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at goosehead.com.
Make your difference now. Text the word GOAL to 44834.
AC replacement? If your AC unit is ready to go kaput, then it's time to call Florida Home AC. With over $3,000 in tax credits waiting for you on select systems, take advantage of it. Call 777-4300. Get Florida Home AC to cool you off.
We heard you loud and clear, Jags fans, and we're taking it back to the 90s again. The Prowler throwback jerseys return to the field Sunday, December 15th, when your Jaguars take on the New York Jets. Be at the bank to see them in action while joining us for our Inspire Change game. To lock in your seats, head to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
Bud Light and everyone at Anheuser-Busch want to remind you to get home safely every time. People are counting on you on the road and at home. Plan ahead with safe rides and don't forget to hydrate between beers. Bud Light encourages everyone to enjoy responsibly and socialize safely.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
Icebreakers Bar and Grill in the Community First Igloo is the coolest place in town for lunch and dinner. Watch the game with a wide selection of local beers, cocktails, wings, burgers, ribs, and more. Enjoy with family and friends at Emerson and I-95.
Are you a member of the Ran Out of Room Club? Maybe it's a boat, RV, or cars. Maybe it's office space. A luxury storage unit at the Shed is your solution. Opening soon in Atlanta Beach. AC and plumbing available and spots filling fast. Don't join the Ran Out of Time Club. Go to theshedjags.com.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The Jaguars have now been officially eliminated from playoff contention. It's now the second year in a row the Jags have missed the playoffs after winning the division in 2022. Jaguars linebacker Foye Oluokun on the focus of the team over the final 5 games of the season.
We got 5 games to try to make stuff look right in our preparation and just the way that we take our preparation to the game. So, as us being professionals and the talent that we have, not being able to get it right is what we need to focus on week in, week out.
Foye Oluokun, courtesy of Jaguars.com. The Jags play the Titans on Sunday in Nashville. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I'm Tom Coughlin, and I choose to be there for the Tom Coughlin J Fund because we're here for the kids. We want to be there for families who have a child with cancer, and we want to do the very best we can to take the stress away from the parents so that they can spend their time trying to help their young child get better.
Call 904-207-7070 now.
In his bunk bed, and his brother got down to go grab something, and Griffin tried to follow him and fell down the ladder, and we thought he broke his clavicle and went to the ER that night, and that's where we found that he actually had a massive tumor encirculating his entire humerus, and that's when we started finding that this was actually cancer.
That's what you call a happy accident. Right? When you, oh my gosh, my kid fell out of the bed. I got to take him to the hospital. You're freaking out, and he's fine from the fall. But you would not have known otherwise that your kid had cancer raging inside his arm. Yeah. And, it's tough, man. These families are, I think, incredibly brave to come in here and share their stories about what the J Fund has done for them. And the Andersons, who we just had here a moment ago, Tony, one of over 5,800 families that have been helped by the J Fund's couple of chapters. We help out here in Northeast Florida and Southern Georgia. There's a branch in the New York, New Jersey metropolitan area as well. But in total, nearly 6,000 families. Shame that many families need that kind of assistance, but it's amazing that the J Fund can provide it.
Yeah, no doubt. And look, you hear those kind of stories and you're reminded of all these things. Are there any accidents? Really? Makes
that you wonder.
That kind of thing happens, and it's like, how else do they even discover that's going on, and how much worse does it get if they're not able to discover it that early?
Right.
It does. It's an awful thing. The accident doesn't make the cancer any more or less real, right? The discovery of it gives them an opportunity to fight it at the level that they were fighting. It's still a 2-year-old. That's dealing with all this. It's an insane situation. They still had to, amputate the arm when everything was said and done. So everything isn't resolved necessarily, but it is crazy to hear how well the kids bouncing back from it. Mom and dad are dealing with it while raising 3 other kids at the same time. I mean, it's a remarkable story. And as we've said throughout the morning and throughout the years, it's an opportunity for Jacksonville to participate in fighting it with them. You get to stand there and fight it with them. Today's your opportunity, at least on 1010XL, to do it. We encourage you to do it all year. But right now, we have the J Fund Radiothon going on. Participate now.
Scobie, you sweet so-and-so.
Oh, what'd he do?
He gave $1,010
There we
bucks,
go.
man.
That's our
Because
guy.
it's 1010
Yeah.
XL. Scobie, we love you, brother. You
No
know,
doubt.
You know, we only give you we give you a hard time a lot, but
We will,
in particular, because we know you're such a good guy, and Josh always supports the J Fund. Hey, any of you fellow former Jaguars out there that are listening right now,
Where you
step
at,
up to
Tommy?
the plate.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Tom McManus will do his share. There's no question. Tom is a big supporter of the J Fund. And let's see, this one's Rachel and Chad Bunnell is what I'm going to say. If I'm pronouncing your name improperly, that's my bad. $1,000 donation.
Awesome.
Just given. Now, Tony, we get some swag from time to time.
We do.
Right? And you know, you're wearing a nice J Fund t-shirt right now. I've got one I brought with me. I didn't put it on, but I did get handed, and you did as well. I think even Dylan might have gotten.
Got that new merch.
The Tom Coughlin Pride of the Jaguars with the Prowler Jag on the front of the hat. It's really a nice hat, okay? Now, TC did not make the cut. Mike Holmgren did to advance to be a finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But he's already in the most prestigious hall there is, the Pride of the Jaguars, okay? So, that being said, people are like, where's mine? How do I get one of those? I'll sell you the hat right off my head, okay? All right, but you're going to have to come strong. Like, if you want to call up right now, call the Community First Hope Hub at 207-7070. If you can stand a hat that's been on my head for 5 minutes, I'll sell it to you, but I'm going to need a strong donation here. What are you thinking? What do you think is fair? I mean, look, it's got to top what we just got in here.
Yeah.
I'm going to say at least $1,500.
Yeah, $1,500 sounds
I'll sell you
about
my hat
right.
for $1,500.
Yeah.
It's not mine. I don't get a penny. I don't want a penny. Okay, it's all going to the J Fund. So I mean, look, I get it. That's a big ask for a lot of people. But if you want to take, because I like the hat, I've grown attached to it in the last now 6 minutes that I've worn it. But if you want it, you can have it right off my head.
You can include mine for another $1,500 if you have someone else that wants it.
If you make a $3,000 donation, you got to tell who, because people who are answering the phone don't know what we're putting them in a bad spot right now. They have no idea what may be coming, but just say, hey, I want Dempsey's hat or I want Dempsey and Tony's hats, both, whatever the case may be, and we'll be happy to provide those for you. So, all right, let's get to a little bit of audio from the Jacksonville Jaguars here while we've got a minute. Here's Doug Peterson asked on Monday, hey, a non-Trevor Lawrence, Azeez Al-Shaair question. How did Walker Little play after signing his contract extension?
I thought he responded great. Again, Houston has two really good edge rushers, and again, I don't think they got near the quarterback. At one time, I think they got a hit on Mack, spun out of a block that Brenton had, but guys are going to make plays like that. But other than that, I thought Walker did an outstanding job yesterday, both in the pass and run game, and excited for him and his family for this opportunity, to have this extension and lock him up for the next several years, and he responded well.
All right, by the way, Doug Peterson speaking right now was asked, will Jarnian Jones face any punishment for the Jaguars for getting thrown out of the game? No, was the answer. I love what...
Man, would I be mad at him if they did.
Right? I mean, honestly, if half of the damn team got thrown out, I wouldn't have blamed them at that point in time. I mean...
Especially when it's one of those where it wasn't him taking a swing at anybody. He accidentally hit a ref when he was shoving a guy away.
Right.
Like, it happens from time to time. I'm not all that mad that he got thrown out of the game because you can't hit an official even if it is an accident. I get it. But, yeah, if the team had said, we're going to – no, there's no need for any of that.
Doug was asked about the idea that the Jaguars did not react accordingly in the second half of the game against Houston. In other words, where was the retaliation, right? I mean, that's basically what that question is. You said, quote, it's a hard, physical, tough game to play. You got to be a tough, physical individual to play the sport. We're not out to hurt anybody. We're not out to ruin careers. We're out to win a football game and play hard within the rules. That's our job. I mean, I respect that. But I also could understand if somebody had gone a little bit rogue and made sure that somebody on the Texans remembered this particular afternoon.
And that feels more like a question to try to get him to react to what was said, right, by the coach and GM of the Texans yesterday, where they're talking about, the Jaguars sideline reaction is out of bounds. It's like, no, it wasn't. right? And I wish that Peterson's answer there was a little bit stronger.
I agree.
And that kind of, it's like, no, our reaction wasn't out of bounds. He took a cheap shot.
Right. In fact, it was muted.
Right.
To
Like
some
that,
degree.
like to that degree, that it's not a great answer from Doug Peterson there, at least in my mind, to that kind of question, which feels like that's the direction it was at least going with the point of the question.
All right, let's get back to a little bit more Jaguar-specific stuff here. Walker Little spoke on Monday after getting the new contract and gave his thoughts on the extension.
Yeah, I mean, obviously super excited about it. I love Jacksonville. I love this team. I love the group of guys. I love the people I get to come to work with every day. Really love the city. So always wanted to stay here. Obviously going into a contract year this year, didn't know if it would happen or not, but I was really glad we were able to work something out, and I'm going to be able to be here for a few more years.
But Tony, I was told that Walker Little, because he didn't beat out Cam Robinson or he was asked to play a guard position on occasion, was very angry.
Yeah, depends on who you talk to. Everybody on the roster is mad at the coach and GM and doesn't want to even walk in the building anymore.
Right.
Like,
and look, sometimes it's true, but clearly, I mean, it doesn't seem like
they're not saying no to the money.
Walker Little's a month and a half away from free agency, man. Yeah. You know, like if you can get through those 6 games unscathed, you're going to make a bunch of cash. No matter who signs you.
Yeah, and you can chalk this next one up with neither did we, Walker. As Walker Little said, he didn't expect to get the extension done during the season.
No, I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't anticipate getting anything done before the season ended, but we started talking over the bye week. And then, so over the bye week into last week, things just progressed, and we were able to get a deal done kind of by the end of the day Saturday, and was able to sign before the game yesterday.
All right, so just what has it been like now to know that you show up that for the last several weeks and really going forward now you've got a consistent starting role?
Yeah, no, it's been nice to be able to start, consecutive games in a row, and just I feel like I've been able to steadily play a little better each game and just get in groove, and it's been really nice.
His grades here the last few weeks have been really good as he's been put in that position of left tackle. We've all known for a while his best position is left tackle. They've moved him all over the place. He's played right. He's played guard at different times for the team, but left tackle is his premium position, right? Like that's where he's going to excel the most for the team. He was asked about being able to focus finally on just being a left tackle for the football team.
Yeah, no, it's nice. I mean, it's just nice, being able to kind of know where you're going to be in practice and prepare in a single position. I'm sure it helped me kind of moving around and learn different parts of the line, but it is nice just having one spot now.
All right, there you go, Walker Little, your new or same left tackle, but definitely your left tackle going forward.
We can describe him as the surviving left tackle going into 2025.
That's one way to look at it, right? At least for the next couple of years, you would expect Walker Little be holding down a starting position on the Jaguars offensive line when healthy. Let's hope he does stay healthy. We'll hear from Foye Oluokun coming up in hour 2. John Oehser will join us, but we continue to want to keep the focus on the Tom Coughlin J Fund. It's Tom Coughlin J Fund Radiothon Day here at 1010XL, inviting you to be there for families tackling childhood cancer, and you can do that by calling the Community First Hope Hub at 904-207-7070 and make a pledge, make a donation. You can also text the word GOAL, GOAL, to 44834. I told you, we'll sell the hats off our respective heads for $1,500 donations. That's what it's going to take, though, because I've really gotten quite fond of this hat in the last now 15 minutes or so that I've had it on. But it's a great, cool little piece of memorabilia. Tom Coughlin, pride of the Jaguars, with the Prowler Jaguar logo on there. So, hey, whether you can afford that or not, $15 donation would be fantastic. Whatever you can give, 904-207-7070 on the Community First Hope Hub. John Oehser joins us coming up. We've got some matching funds coming up in hour number 2 as well. But don't wait. Donate now. Get those donations coming. And if you've already donated and the mood strikes you, hey, pick up the phone and call again. We'll take your money. I guarantee you it'll be put to good use here on the First Coast. With Tony Smith and Dylan Denmark, you're listening to the Tom Coughlin J Fund Radiothon here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL.
Need a piece of jewelry that won't break your wallet? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has tons of reconditioned jewelry, always inspected by their jeweler. Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach. Online at beachesjewelryandpawn.com.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on Jaguars Today. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, your long-term solution for weight loss.
Hey, gang, Prosser here to save you some cash. Maximize your home sale now with the market experts who deliver more money in less time, and those experts are Chad and Sandy Newman. Maybe you're worried about costly repairs or upgrades needed to sell your home. You don't have to worry. The worries are relieved with Chad and Sandy, the local real estate experts we are trusting and recommending with the sale of your home. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Mortgage rates are down. It's time to create your market. Marvin in Cobblestone writes, my siblings and I moved our parents to Maryland so they can get some extra help as they get older. Next, we had to sell the home to get them some financial help for their extra care. We hired Chad and Sandy, and they delivered big. Chad and Sandy's team got our home sold in 7 days above asking price. You can too. Call Chad and Sandy today, 904-414-6200, or go to chadandsandy.com. That's Chad, ANDSANDY.com.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Mia here. When it comes to roofing, whether it be shingles, metal, or most repairs, there is one name that has protected your home since 1999. Pro Jax Roofing. Serving all of Northeast Florida, Mike and his guys have been repairing and replacing roofs for 25 years. Need insurance help? Mike's team can help. Raised in a military family, Mike provides great attention to detail with unparalleled quality and workmanship. They also have warranties, so you can have peace of mind. Call Mike today for a free estimate or online at projaxroofingfl.com.
To give to Tom Coughlin's J Fund, text the word GOAL to 44834 now.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool? Our first contestant, a stay-at-home gymnast from Jacksonville, Florida. It's Gwendolyn Pierce.
Thank you, Monty. I don't know who installed my air conditioner, but it hasn't had a tune-up in over 3 years. Am I cool?
Let's ask our expert judging panel. Judges? I'm sorry, Gwendolyn. You're not cool. Johnny, tell her why.
That's right. To keep your air conditioner performing at its best, you need a skilled technician to check your pressures, voltages, and air filters in the fall and the spring. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, our club members get 2 free visits a year to make sure that you are cool.
Can you tell me if my haircut is sexy?
You're better off not asking.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
This holiday season, give the gift of comfort and joy. Comfort food and the joy that comes with digging into a huge plate of diner favorites from Metro Diner. And to make things even more merry, now through the end of the year, they're adding on a $10 bonus card with every $50 spent on gift cards. Metro Diner gift cards are the perfect gift for everyone on your list. Friends, family, or coworkers. Stop by the diner or MetroDiner.com and get all your gift shopping done easily. Happy holidays from Metro Diner.
Cyber threats don't take timeouts. Protect your business with DoubleCheck Cybersecurity's AI-powered solutions. Get 24/7 defense and stop hackers before they score. Don't wait. Visit doublecheck.com to schedule your free security consultation today.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Facing a DUI charge or even a boating under the influence charge? Well, I'm your man, DUI lawyer Malcolm Anthony at 285-4LAW. 285-4LAW. Once again, 285-4LAW.
My Gate Rewards members, now through January 2nd, you'll get an entry for your chance to win free gas for a year each time you buy 5 eligible Monster Club products. Not a rewards member? Download the Gate app today. See store for details.
Have a group trip or company function soon? Mark Watson here with Hardball Creative. Get busy ordering the t-shirts and other swag you'll need. It's easy with Hardball.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. The next to last college football playoff rankings were released on Tuesday. The Hurricanes fell 5 places to number 12 behind Alabama, but ahead of Mississippi and South Carolina. It appears the Crimson Tide are in line for an at-large berth should things hold to form. Florida State entered the fall with 3 wide receivers committed to its 2025 class. However, that didn't work out. Starting from square one, the Noles have flipped West Virginia commit Tariq Mallory to FSU. According to on.3.com, Florida's Eugene Wilson III, or Trey, is expected to be playing in Gainesville next season. The wide receiver missed most of this season due to injuries. Following hip surgery, he should be ready by next season's opener, according to head coach Billy Napier. That's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I'm Daniel Murphy on 1010XL, 92.5 FM, and this is the Coughlin J Fund Radiothon. I'm excited as a native from Jacksonville to be able to come out here and just partner with Tom and his family and the opportunity to give back to these families who are going through so much with their children who, so unfortunately get sick.
Call 207-7070 now. It's time for Oh No's with Jaguars.com's John Oehser.
Oh no. Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
All right, Johnny O is here. It is Tom Coughlin J Fund Radiothon Day. Thanks to Jeff Kendall, who just donated $1,010.
Nice.
Not quite hat territory, Tony, but pretty darn good,
Yeah,
Jeff.
yeah.
We appreciate it, and so will a lot of families out there. Just started seconds ago for the next 30 minutes. The online income tax software company eFile will match your gift up to $3,000 until 11:30 today. So all donations totaling up to $3,000. eFile will double that total. So call 904-207-7070 right now. And that is the Community First Hope Hub that you're calling, 904-207-7070, efile.com, matching your donations up until 11:30 today. And then we've got another matching donor coming up. By the way, Dandy just brought us a bunch of food down the hall. I always talk about veggie trays and fruit cut. We got a fruit tray, Tony. We got a veggie tray. We got a sandwich tray. We got a fixins tray.
Nice.
You're just gonna have to see what's on the fixins tray if you want to figure that out. Good morning, Johnny O.
It's in all seriousness, it's always an honor to be here on this day. So
it's a great day
it's
for
fantastic.
Jacksonville, and it's not your typical show that we do, but it is the most important show we probably do.
Probably the most memorable show we do, no matter what else happens.
Goal is $250,000 this year, so let's hope that we can reach that here. And why don't we fire up today's 10-10 take, Dylan?
10-10
take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take, brought to you by
Double checked. Cybersecurity made simple.
This is the easiest 10-10 take of the year, every year. Just, whatever you feel about this team, this show, this station, the Jaguars, all that. Just understand, we're all part of the same community. We all ultimately want the same goals. We want to live in, in a safe city, a happy city. We want our family to be taken care of, and that's where the J Fund steps in for a lot of families that have a devastating cancer diagnosis for one of their children. And so, no matter what, use your love of this show, your angst towards this show, your whatever.
You dislike the guest.
If I donate enough, will we never have to hear from Oehser again? Mm-hmm. It's possible. I'm not going to tell you what that number is.
There's a number.
It's pretty high, though.
Yeah.
Okay, that one's pretty high for that to happen. But whatever you do, in the next 30 minutes, it'll double thanks to E-File up to $3,000.
Yeah, that's cool. By the way, we were talking about Doug Peterson and that comments. Were they reacting to what was going on with D'Amico and the things that have been said? Well, he has been asked directly about it this morning, and Mia O'Brien tweeting out Doug Peterson on D'Amico's comments regarding the Al-Shaair, Trevor Lawrence situation. I was a little surprised. I've got a ton of respect for D'Amico. He's a former player. I'm a former player. Emotions run high. I would say this. If the same thing happened to their QB, their reaction would have been the same, quite frankly.
Of course it would have been.
Yeah.
Still a little bit muted for my taste.
Yeah, a little bit, but not
I'm a little
quite
surprised.
as that last one.
How about D'Amico's a blithering idiot? That's what I'll go with here, and so is Nick Caserio. All right, so
I don't understand anyone's need to defend the play. I really don't. Like I can understand defending the player if you're with the Texans. You defend. He's a good guy. Crazy moment, like that kind of thing. Like I can understand defending it that way, but actually defending the play, which people seem to be doing, I cannot understand.
Well, Caserio's more upset about the quote unquote
extension
of the character assassination.
Yeah.
But bro, you got a lot on film here of you acting outside the boundaries of the rules.
Caserio was clearly trying to do something to maybe reduce the suspension, change that narrative a little bit. And it was more, at first when I heard Caserio, I was like, this is ridiculous. Went back and listened to it. It was more about Runyon's, comments within the league, which I guess Nick can have his opinion on that. I thought the strangest thing was D'Amico saying they overreacted.
Right, the Jaguars overreacted.
That was the one that after you sort of got past the emotion of hearing that of, what's he talking about? And then when you went back and listened to it, it's like, come on, D'Amico, you didn't know.
And it's a combination, John. Not only that, but blaming Trevor Lawrence. He slid late. No, he didn't.
Yeah, no.
I mean, there are guys that slide late, and when it's bang, bang. And we've all gotten to the point now where we're used to seeing a player having that little time to react and at least make the attempt to peel off. He raised his forearm.
Right. Late or not late, even if here's the problem with a lot of the discussion. Whether he slid or not doesn't matter because you raise your forearm at the helmet.
Right.
So, yes, Trevor gave himself up. Had he not given himself up, had he been running straight and the player had tackled him like that with a forearm to the helmet, it still would have been the same penalty.
Or the whole he's supposed to slide with his head down. Like
right.
Trevor didn't slide well enough, the right way. Once you start,
again, whether he slid or not didn't matter.
I understand that, but that aspect of it,
right,
is ludicrous to me. And you can have a conversation, as Tony said, about the people fake sliding. Whether that should be allowed, and I could absolutely see where that should be outlawed.
That is a weird gray area right now.
Because
tough.
Especially I'm about to run out of bounds, and then I dart in. Well, but at the same time, I mean, can you
create some kind of penalty or something for that where that gets taken out of the game, and I'd be fine with it. Right?
I think the fake slide is even beyond. Like the fake running out of bounds thing is kind of the same thing. We're trying to protect you. So you're trying to take advantage of that protection and gain an advantage because of it.
It was an instinct. It seemed to me it was an instinctive play on, or something took over during the hit. Most players in the NFL in that situation, minimum, would have done an arm raise, would have backed off a little. He accelerated and forearmed. And again, to me, it didn't matter if he slid or not.
All right, so
it was intent.
Look, I think we're all preaching to the choir here, right? And as much as they are preaching to their own choir, even though outside of the city of Houston, 99% of people, I think, realize, that the wrong party is playing for the Texans here. And the NFL obviously stated that pretty clearly. So let's move on to a few other things here, including Walker Little, John. We just heard from him speaking on Monday with the contract extension. There was a lot about, Walker Little won't sign here. I think people ascribe a level of knowledge of the way other people think too much. Like, right,
any is too much.
Any, right? But like Trevor Lawrence isn't going to play if Doug Peterson doesn't get fired. That was a popular one going around, right? This is Trevor. Trevor's not that hurt. This is a power play to exert his influence. No, he's hurt. And as soon as he could play, he went out and played, and they got hurt again. But that's neither here nor there. And, the same thing, Walker Little. Walker Little's not happy because he was made to play guard at some point. Well, it's kind of, go in the left tackle spot then. If you want to be happy. Now it's his. He's played well for the last few weeks. So what do you think about the deal?
It surprised me at first, as I think it did everybody, because you did have the element of, well, if he's good enough for an extension, why wasn't he starting all along? Once you sort of got over that, I got a ton of emails like that. That's why I bring it up. Once you got over the visceral reaction to that and really looked at the numbers, it was a fairly, as weird as it sounds, $15 million, whatever he signed for, is sort of a middle market deal for a left tackle. It made sense to lock him up. The feeling inside the building is that next year's draft and next year's free agent class is it would be difficult to match that level trying to go into those groups. So
I don't know if it would be in the draft, right? I think if you said, all right, we've got a top 3 or 4 pick,
right,
and we might have a chance to get the first. Absolutely, right? It doesn't lock you in. And as far as free agency goes, we've gone through the names that are available in free agency.
And you got down to Walker Little pretty fast.
Yeah, right. You got to Cam Robinson. PFF had Cam Robinson number 3 on the list. He's not coming back here.
That would be surprising.
He said
that would be nuts. The other issue, obviously, that fans bring up as soon as that deal gets done is the Baalke aspect to it, right?
Yeah.
And fans are reacting to, why is Trent Baalke still around here, even allowed to make any kind of deals to this point? Do you have? I'm with you, and we've discussed it on the show. I think it was a good deal for both sides. That the money side of it all makes sense to me. That they would want to get it done with Walker Little now. Does the deal getting done with Trent Baalke as the GM change your opinion on how likely or unlikely it is for him to return as the GM in 25?
Yeah, not really, because I just think in that situation, no, I don't think that. I understand the intuitive nature of saying, well, if he's making the decision, he's coming back. I don't think he's been told that. I think you make that decision anyway. And I don't think that's how Shad looks at that position. I think Shad looks at it as he's going to be the GM until he's not. He's being paid to make that decision. And so, no, I don't think so. Although I think everybody had the initial reaction, well, that must mean he's coming back. But I don't think it does.
I don't think it necessarily means he's coming back, but I think it's fair to ask. Like if you put it this way, if you were adamant that he wasn't coming back, then I think you have to sit there and go, well, I'm getting ready to pull the ripcord in 6 weeks. Shouldn't I leave that decision to the next guy I'm going to hire? If you were in that mindset.
And that's very true. I do think also the case could be made if you had waited to make that decision, then maybe it's a tougher signing to get. So,
absolutely. You got to balance all that.
This is not at all. The question you bring up is obviously a hugely pertinent one. Okay, this GM signs Walker Little. I don't know if Trent will be the GM in January. If he's not, does the next GM look at it and say, I didn't want Walker Little? Yeah, but so that's part of it, probably a calculated risk. And considering the numbers and the length, probably a reasonable risk.
Right.
So,
as we pointed out, Walker Little right now, this minute, is the 40th highest paid offensive lineman in the league.
Right.
That number will go up. I mean, he'll be like the 45th or the 50th.
Yeah. Which is insane when you think about it, because he got a decent contract, but that's what the numbers bear out for left tackle.
Right. And that's what he's not worth $15 million. Well, in the sense, is anyone worth $15 million? You know what I mean?
Right.
The money's there.
Yeah.
You're going to spend it. The market would bear that kind of contract for him if he continues to play down the stretch like he has the last few weeks. All right, we'll get some of John's thoughts on how the Jags will handle Trevor Lawrence going forward here for the remainder of this season. And we'll maybe listen into a little bit more from Foye Oluokun, as we mentioned. Coming up, he spoke Monday as well. Just get a couple of quick thoughts from him. But coming up next, another special J Fund Radiothon guest. So stick around for that. And please do remember right now, to the bottom of the hour for the next 18 minutes or so, efile.com is matching all your donations up to $3,000 until 11:30. What do you have to do? Call the Community First Hope Hub at 904-207-7070. 904-207-7070, or you can text the word GOAL, GOAL, to 44834 to support the Tom Coughlin J Fund Radiothon here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Now, a 1010XL J Fund Challenge Match.
E-File.com is proud to help the Tom Coughlin J Fund help local families tackle childhood cancer on 1010XL. E-File.com, the online income tax software company, helps taxpayers file income taxes faster, easier, and more accurately for the 6th year in a row. E-File.com will match your gift up to $3,000 for the first 30 minutes of this hour. To double your gift, call 207-7070 now.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
When Jacksonville needed some late-game magic, they would go to the lucky number 7. Thanks to a 10-play sequence capped off by a 6-yard Brian Thomas Jr. touchdown and a 2-point conversion, the Teal and Black would make the score 23-20 with 3:31 left in the game. The 84-yard drive is your Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game.
Hey, John, I think everyone in Jacksonville is ready to elevate their ride.
Absolutely. At Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville, we have stunning 2024 Escalades and Lyrics in stock right now.
And the great news is you can get a $4,000 Escalade loyalty rebate.
Don't wait for the 2025 models to come in.
Luxury is just a visit away. Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
Not available with some other offers. Must take retail delivery by 10/31/24 plus tax tag title $8.99 admin fee and resistol on approved credit.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
If you're feeling undervalued where you bank or lost in the shuffle, it might be time for a change. Community First Credit Union makes changing easy and worth it. We've been helping the people in North Florida live their best lives for over 9 decades. And we're here to help you too. If you open a Community First checking account, we'll give you a $200 bonus, and you don't have to refer anyone to get it. Visit communityfirstfl.org for details. Member NCUA. Bonus requires deposits totaling $1,000 or more and 10 debit transactions within the first 90 days of account opening.
Epic offers. Factory direct pricing on AC equipment from Epic Cool Heating and Air. Call 904-859-EPIC. Epic discounts for military, police, first responders, and 1010 listeners like you. Epic Cool Heating and Air.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on 1010XL. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Greetings from Daytona, where a band of dreamers took a strip of beach and turned it into a proving ground. The Great American Race, where year after year, greatness is the destination.
Drivers, start your engines, let's go!
So book your experience and soak in 500 miles of history and tradition. The Daytona 500, February 16th, 2025. Secure your seats now at Daytona500.com.
It's easy to be there for J Fund families. Text GOAL to 44834 now.
Pick an ear for Bout 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bout 9. Visit Bout 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bout 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Truck drivers. Without them, our economy would stop. They're constantly racing against time, struggling against exhaustion, and being put under enormous pressure from their bosses, the big trucking companies. This can be a major reason for an accident. Discovering who's at fault can be difficult. We can help. Put our big truck experience to work for you. Call Farah & Farah, Jacksonville.
Ever wonder how you can transform your living spaces into captivating works of art?
At First Coast Lighting and Fans, they offer a huge selection of high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Visit their showroom on Phillips Highway at the Avenues and step into a world of quality without compromise. Discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes and let them help you experience the transformation from average to extraordinary. At First Coast Lighting and Fans.
1010XL and the J Fund thank Taco Lou for taking care of today's J Fund volunteers with lunch. We appreciate Taco Lou keeping the Community First Hope Hub volunteers and J Fund staff powered up as they take your calls in support of today's Radiothon.
Joe C. for CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. There's nothing like the ambiance of a custom-built fireplace. The team at CSS can design and install the perfect setup, including wood, gas, and electric models, whether you want the elegance of an indoor fireplace or the warmth of an outdoor fire pit. You dream it, they build it. Visit their showroom or online at cssfireplaces.com.
You dream it, we build it. CSS.
Googan Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Now, it's time to showcase the Crown Royals Special Teams Player of the Game. Live generously and life will treat you royally.
Logan Cook was slicing and dicing while in the Sunshine State. The Jacksonville punter tallied 191 yards on 4 punts, with his longest going for 64 yards. He left his opposition fried all game long and is your Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game.
Welcome to ABS Advanced Business Solutions, your local authorized technology partner and home to Xerox copiers.
Advanced Business Solutions.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I'm Jim Boeheim from Syracuse, and this is the Tom Coughlin J Fund Radiothon on 1010XL.
Call 904-207-7070 now.
All right, I tell you what, as some Miami fan who's really not happy with Syracuse right now, wants us to not play that Jim Boeheim liner again, you're going to have to call up and donate at least $1,000. At least $1,000 if you don't want to hear from Jim Boeheim. Yeah. I might play that thing all day at this rate. Buster Bragg, I'd like to brag about Buster, just donated $1,010 to the Tom Coughlin J Fund Radiothon. Awesome. And thanks to his timing, efile.com will double that donation to $2,020. They're doubling all gifts until 11:30, up to $3,000 total. I just handed my credit card off to Kelly Coughlin. I'm not sure what I donated this year, Tone. I trust Kelly to some degree, but she's got an agenda, and I'll find out later just how that whole thing went down. But you can't find a better cause to donate to. So, again, we're not taking your normal kind of calls today. We are asking you instead to call the Community First Hope Hub at 904-207-7070. You don't have to donate $1,000 or $1,010. That's fantastic if you want to do it. We're asking for a $115 donation because that represents the 115 kids in the Jacksonville area that are diagnosed with cancer on an annual basis right now. It's way too high, and our next guest knows all about that. Tavon Sr. has 2 young children, and Tavon Jr. is the one who has been stricken with osteosarcoma. Tavon, first, thank you for taking some time out with us today. Obviously, we hope the best for both of your kids, but how is Tavon Jr. doing right now?
Thanks for having me. Tavon Jr. is a little under the weather today, but besides that, he's doing well.
Is he a fighter? I mean,
he's a fighter.
Tell us about his diagnosis and what he's been through, because you were telling us a little bit about this.
All right. In August of 2023, he was claiming knee pain. And we didn't think nothing of it. It kept progressing, so we took him to the doctors. They saw something right above his knee on his femur. They sent us to a specialist, which sent us to another doctor, to the Children's Hospital. And ultimately, when they did the biopsy, they said it was a tumor, which they said is osteosarcoma. It's a bone childhood cancer. It's a bone childhood cancer.
So what's going through your mind as you're hearing all this? You got to be in shock.
It was crazy because we didn't understand. We just thought he was having knee pain and cancer. Son, 16, it was right before his 16th birthday. So we like, no. So we did all the works up, all the doctor's visits, all the scans and everything, and ultimately that's what it was. He had surgery to remove the tumor. We spent pretty much his whole 11th grade year of high school inside the hospital. And that's when we met, Coach Coughlin and the J Fund families and everything.
Can you imagine what it would be like to not have the support to go through what you're going through?
I couldn't imagine. All the families, I couldn't imagine.
I mean, I couldn't imagine what you're going through, period, right? And, again, we tip our hat to all of you who come in and share these stories that have got to be tough. Said Tavon's a fighter. Like, what is his spirit like? Like, is he a kid who gets up every day thinking, I'm going to whip this, and the future's bright for me?
Tavon, such a fighter. He would leave 6 days, 5 days of treatment out the hospital and go right to work and go right to school. Literally.
That's awesome.
I've never seen.
Wonder where you got that work ethic from. I'm guessing Dad's not a slacker.
Nah. Yeah, he's a fighter. His spirits is out of control. Everybody around him, he would have never thought that nothing happened to him. He just been a fighter. So not even a year to the date, he was complaining of shoulder pain. This year, complaining of shoulder pain right before school started. Didn't think nothing of it. When I got an x-ray, didn't see anything. It kept progressing. Went back, went to his doctor. They did all the works up. Unfortunately, it came back in his shoulder and his ribs and his lungs.
What's the prognosis?
Osteosarcoma again.
Yeah, like, is the outlook, do they think he can beat it?
Yeah, yep. He's doing his treatment, still in school. This is 12th grade year, straight A student.
The new normal. The straight A student on top of all that.
Straight A student.
That's
still
awesome.
going to school, not feeling well, still going to school.
You mentioned Tavon's a fighter.
Yes.
Right? And so he's been willing to fight through this whole process. What has the J Fund been doing to support him in this fight?
Just like him and other families, they have programs like the chat program where the kids get together, the adolescents and kids his age. Like we went to the Jumbo Shrimp game, which he loved, and they had a ball. They do so much. They have so many foundations and so many programs for these kids and the families that's going through. They help with like traveling back and forth to the hospital, gas cards, meals, people that's in there. Like when we spent a lot of time in there, Mr. Coughlin himself and the families would feed the families that's in there. Bring meals to you, financial assistance, as far as like people who need help with mortgage, people who need help with car payments, getting your car fixed. Things like that. I mean, I couldn't imagine some of the families, with my family just alone, how we benefited from the J Fund. And to see all them kids, you have no idea when you ride by the hospital what's going on inside there. How many families are dealing with a child. Families who can't stay in the hospital and they have to go to work. And I was fortunate enough to be able to stay with my son every night in the hospital.
Not everyone's able to do that.
No.
J Fund makes it more possible for a lot of people.
For people to keep a roof over their head, but dealing with financial obligations from the cancer diagnosis.
And you're telling us a 12-year-old daughter as well.
Yes.
And we talk to families about this. We've been doing this for a lot of years, and it's very easy to put all your focus on your sick child, and that other child deserves your attention as well, right?
And guess what? That's where the J Fund Foundation comes in again. Because they have all these other programs, not just for the child that's going through cancer, for the siblings. So they have night outs for the siblings, night outs for, not just age range, big things, skating and just trying to keep the other kids active and let them know that they're not left alone.
Right.
While their sibling is dealing with.
They're special too.
Absolutely.
You know,
because they're going through it as well.
Absolutely, and they deserve that kind of attention and love, and that you were, I'm sure, happy to provide. But yeah, we understand where your focus has to be right now. So, you know, look, I think you're doing a great job representing why the J Fund can help families. But let me ask you, were you aware of the J Fund prior to this diagnosis?
No, I was not.
And maybe I shouldn't be. You know, I feel like everyone in Jacksonville by now knows about the J Fund. Clearly they don't, right?
Absolutely.
So there are people listening now today going, what the heck is this going on? I've never heard this before.
Yes.
Tell them in your words why it's important to support this organization, please.
I would definitely say it's important to support the J Fund and Tom Coughlin Foundation due to how many families are affected, and not just in the local area, period. Because you have families that's coming from different parts of Florida to need help. And I think it's important because you have no idea. It could be you next. It could be your family. And they, with open arms, just come in and just ask, how you feeling? What do you need? How can we help you? Not looking for nothing in return. So me and my wife, we, you know, I'm not sure if you know, my wife was one of the keynote speakers at the Celebrity Golf Classic. She did a speech called Take a Walk in My Shoes. And I was so proud of her, my wife, Andrea. It really opened my eyes to see how many people is affected by somebody they know who has cancer, and especially childhood cancer. This foundation does wonders for everybody in the community, everybody that's dealing with, going through. If it wasn't for the people who donate, that's why I think it's so important to donate, because if you don't, this foundation couldn't go. You know what I'm saying? People who, all I can say is if you want to donate to any kind of foundation, donate to the J Fund Foundation, because it helps so many people that you never met, that you couldn't even imagine what they were going through.
But they'd be there for you in the blink of an eye.
Absolutely.
You never knew about them. And if you had, you probably never thought you'd have any need for their help.
Yep.
And the fact that it doesn't matter if you know about them or not.
A son whose knees bothering him after a workout.
Boom.
That's it.
And your life changes like that.
In the blink of an eye.
Everyone's life can change like that, right? There are a million people that go through a million things, but as a parent, I can't imagine much more devastating than getting that diagnosis, man.
Absolutely. I mean, holidays, they support with holiday cards, gift cards, not just for your child, for their siblings as well. You know, they do Christmas events where they do giveaways and everything. And I mean, it's how they keep everybody in a family engaged and involved. You know, while your child is going through, it gives them some sense of hope. And the love that you get from Miss Rita and all the other people that Tom is amazing.
I can see it on your face.
Amazing.
Man, you know?
Amazing.
I think pretty amazing that you've raised two kids. And I'm going to presume your daughter's very much like this, that you got a fighter, and through all this, making straight A's in school, going through everything, living his life, because life doesn't stop. You know, you got to try to keep up with your peers and all this under incredibly trying circumstances, man.
This is last year high school. He just won Homecoming King.
How about that?
He just applied for 2 more schools.
What school?
Ridgeview High School.
Okay.
Nice.
Shout out.
Amazing school. Amazing. Shout out to Miss Murphy, the principal. She's amazing.
And you're saying college plans?
College, yep.
Coming together?
He applied for FAMU. He applied for North Carolina A&T because he wanted to be a residential architect.
Okay.
Yep.
Excellent, man. Chip off the old block in terms of that. And I'm talking about his mom now, all right?
Yeah, definitely. That's where you get the brains from.
Hey, listen, we wish the best for your entire family, and obviously, and wish you didn't have any need for this, right? Yep. And hopefully one day you won't.
Yep,
right.
absolutely.
And knock on wood, let's hope that sooner rather than later, Tavon Jr. is completely cancer-free and will remain that way. Yes. And we'd love that to be the case for every kid out there in Jacksonville. But that's not the case right now.
It's not.
So pick up the phone, call the Community First Hope Hub. Again, the number is 904-207-7070. Our matching donation from efile.com just ended, but my friends at Dandy Foods are going to step up and match donations for the next 30 minutes up until noon another $3,000 potential match. So make those donations. Even if you've called one in, you're going to get double your effect here by calling 904-207-7070 and pledging what you can. Give till it hurts a little bit. That's the way to do it.
Just want to thank you guys for having me, allowing me to speak about my son, Tavon Barry Jr., my family, and the love for the Tom Coughlin Foundation. Please donate. Please, please, please. Everybody's affected by this.
Amen, brother. You well said. Nothing to add to that, Tavon Sr. And you and your entire family, all our best to you.
Thank you so much.
And hopefully we'll never see you again. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Or you.
Well, you might see me next year for the Radiothon. There you go.
And support for those other families out there.
See y'all next year.
Amen, bro. All right, there you go, Tavon. We appreciate that very much. Again, folks, give till it hurts a little bit. That's the way to do it. Follow the lead of some of the big donors that we've had since we came on the air this morning. 904-207-7070. Dandy Foods matching your donations right now for the next 30 minutes. So take advantage of that as well. Tell you more about them in just a second here as we'll come back with some final thoughts from myself, Tony, John Oehser, Jaguar related, but the J Fund Radiothon will roll on all day long here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, how about that? Convenient, right? Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. And Dandy is just such a great organization. Really, they support the local sports scene, but they support local families here in Jacksonville. They put their money where their mouth is today, giving a $3,000 matching donation that's active right now, this very minute. So if you call 904-207-7070 right now, Dandy is going to match your donation and double your impact on some families around the First Coast. Danny, by the way, brought in tons of food to feed all the volunteers here for the J Fund today, and did me right by bringing a nice fresh veggie tray. They got a fruit tray down the hallway. I'm telling you, man, the food is spectacular with Dandy. Not just because they're a local company. They're a local company that delivers you bang for your buck every single time. And they're giving you more bang for your buck with the J Fund today. So when you're hungry at any time in Duval, do what I do. Go out and make yours a Dandy. Do it today.
Now, a 1010XL J Fund challenge match.
Dandy Foods is family-owned right here in Jacksonville and has been a longtime supporter of the Tom Coughlin J Fund. They love to put their money where their sandwiches, subs, salads, wraps, and fresh-cut fruit are. Only the highest quality meats and cheeses go into their products. Donate now and Dandy will double it. Dandy Foods will match up to $3,000 between now and noon. To double your gift, call 207-7070 now.
Jaguars today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank NA, member FDIC.
When it comes to selling your home, it can be stressful. Take the stress out with my friends, Chad and Sandy Newman. Maybe you're worried you won't sell your home for the price you need. How's this for a guarantee? Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they'll buy it. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Mortgage rates are down, creating more active buyers and sellers, and if you've been waiting, now is a great time to sell your home. Take Kim in Palm Coast. I needed to move closer to family ASAP, but I had to sell my Palm Coast home first. I tried and failed with another agent. So my family said, you got to call Chad and Sandy. Well, sure enough, as promised, Chad and Sandy did it. They sold my home in 3 days, above asking price. Call the local Jacksonville experts I trust and recommend. Call Chad and Sandy today at 904-414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com. That's Chad, ANDSANDY.com.
AA Automotive helps keep your car in dependable travel condition. Stop in today. They'll check the brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and AC to get you right back to your holiday plans. AA Automotive on Richard Street. Full service auto repair you can count on.
It's Awaken 180 Weight Loss Wednesday
on Jaguars Today.
Get off the ladder and put on the helmet with Gutter Helmet of North Florida. We are family owned and manufactured locally. Cleaning your gutters is a dangerous and dirty job. That's why with Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. Water goes in your gutters while trash and debris go on the ground. It won't collect like filters do. Gutter Helmet protects. Call now for 10% off and a free gutter cleaning and tune-up with your purchase of Gutter Helmet. Call 904-762-7779.
Hi, Jags fans. Walker Little here for my friends at Kingfish Pest Control. Playing offensive line in the NFL, I must block and protect on every down. When it comes to keeping my home pest-free, I expect that same level of protection. So I contacted Kingfish after seeing thousands of positive online customer reviews about their service. I can confirm from personal experience, bugs don't stand a chance getting past Kingfish Pest Control. Do what I did. Reach out to Kingfish Pest Control to protect your home, a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Now is a great time to be there for J Fund families. Text the word GOAL to 44834.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. And Greg, when you start to shift from warmer weather into some cooler weather, you can get on the road. What has Honda got to offer?
Honda's got a bunch of great bikes. They've got the new e-clutch technology, which means you can ride without using your clutch.
And I love the fact you can go automatic on a bike, which was unheard of for a while.
It was for a long time, and Honda has mastered it.
You can log on cyclesofjacksonville.com, see all they have to offer, or drop by the showroom. They're on Atlantic near Regency. That's Cycles of Jacksonville.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
If you're looking for the best in indoor air quality, I've got the experts to call. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jaguars, specializing in the best air quality for your home or work with the Remy Halo. Instead of waiting for pollutants to travel through the ductwork to be neutralized, the Halo cell releases friendly oxidizers every time your fan blows air, helping those in your home that suffer from allergies and other respiratory issues. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and start enjoying cool comfort and clean air.
Arrested? Got traffic tickets? DUI? License problems? Gun charges? Drug charges? If you've been charged with any crime, call me, criminal defense attorney Malcolm Anthony, at 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW.
When you head out for a night with friends or going to the big game, don't forget the best game plan to win the night is to designate a driver and guarantee a safe ride home. Hydrating between buds is the best play you can make. Bud Light, reminding all to drink wiser.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Texans linebacker Azeez Al-Shaair has been suspended 3 games by the NFL for the hit that knocked Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence out of Sunday's game. Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson with his reaction to the suspension.
Probably not my place to speak necessarily on the punishment. I think that's the league issue. You know, as far as, Azeez goes and everything, I know good player and just a play that somehow we need to try to get the play out of the game if possible. Obviously I stand behind our guys for the reaction.
Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson this morning on the Al-Shaair suspension. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Tom Coughlin here, joining 1010XL for the J Fund Radiothon. I'm asking you to be there for families tackling childhood cancer and give now.
Call 207-7070.
Thank you.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
In August of 2023, he was claiming knee pain, and we didn't think nothing of it. It kept progressing, so we took him to the doctors. They saw something right above his knee on his femur. They sent us to a specialist, which sent us to another doctor, to the Children's Hospital, and ultimately, when they did the biopsy, they said it was a tumor. which they said is osteosarcoma. It's a bonehood childhood cancer.
Well, Tony, we've had parents of a 2-year-old and a dad of a 17-year-old, right? It can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
Any age range. But for all the families out there that get impacted by a diagnosis of childhood cancer, the J Fund steps in, and the J Fund Radiothon is there to support the Tom Coughlin J Fund. Our goal this year is to raise $250,000, to go over $250,000. I believe that was what we finished, $265 last year. 265, almost 266. Pretty amazing. And we are within striking distance now. We'll shortly pass the $2 million mark raised through the Radiothon over the years, which we thank all of you out there. And it's because of folks like Fred Wilson, who just gave $1,010. Thank you very much, Fred. By the way, Dandy Foods matching up to $3,000 between 11:30 and noon. So you're getting double the bang for your buck right now. I really like that hat. I say that in the past tense. Rob Conklin, you beautiful person, you. Okay? I was going to say something else, and I mean it in the best possible way. From Pristine Finishes, he didn't ask to have it mentioned, but Rob's from Pristine Finishes. I believe they're in St. Augustine. They're a woodworking company. Does like custom woodwork, entertainment units, closet build-outs, pantry remodeling. What's wainscoting or wainscoting?
I don't know.
I've heard the term before.
I don't know.
Got no idea what it is. But if you know what it is and you need some of that, Pristine Finishes got you. All right. Rob gave $1,500, and I gave him the hat off my head right there because that's what. So Tony's hat is still available. I just put a new hat on. Now I don't have any more of these Tom Coughlin Pride of the Jaguar hats. That was a one-off right there. But I do have, Tony, if the camera can pick it up, some of the Prowler Jaguar, just a couple of these Prowler Jaguar hats in right now.
Yeah.
So if you want Tony's hat, if you want one of these Prowler hats, $1,500 is the level you got to go to. Okay. And Dandy will help double that, and we'll raise a bunch of money there, Johnny. Can I interest you in a hat? Maybe a slightly less expensive one.
A slightly cheaper hat.
I'll say this. If you were thinking about donating, and we love all the folks doing that 1,010 in honor of 1010 XL, that's a beautiful thing as well, the whole synergy of it. Bump it up a little bit, you know? I could be talked out of, like, if you can only do 1,200, I probably could get talked out of a hat. You know what I mean? But 1,500 is what we'd like, and Rob Conklin. And I just went to their Facebook page, Pristine Finishes, had a big post about the J Fund on there. They're big supporters of it year round. So we appreciate Rob and all the folks who, again, we can't read off every donation. We get thousands probably, I'm guessing, small little donations, and they all add up. Absolutely. So take advantage of that. John, let's hear a couple of thoughts from Foye Oluwakin, and then let's get your thoughts on where things stand with the Jaguars here. Starting on Monday, this Foye is kind of, probably out of his realm of expertise, but he was asked, in his opinion, should the team be careful and maybe consider shutting down Trevor Lawrence for the rest of the year?
That's up to Trevor. Don't ask me about Trevor. If he feels that he can come out and play well and make the team better, I'd say he can do it. If the Jaguars is a business, you want to talk to me about the business side of football, I don't think I'll do that on this podcast. But if he feels he can come out and make the team better, and he really wants to do that, then he should be allowed to do it.
What do you think, John? How do you? I know Doug Peterson said on Monday we got to consider where we're at as a team in all these decisions. What's your gut tell you about what's going to happen?
My gut, I'd be surprised if he plays again. But the way I've answered this question a couple of times this week, it's hard to say that definitively because you don't know the extent. If he clears protocol, if the shoulder is progressing, then it's conceivable he might play. And that's why concussion protocol is in, so that it doesn't, if he clears protocol and shouldn't be back out there, then they need to change the protocol, if you follow me. So that's why it's there. When these guys are cleared, they are playing without risk, without added risk from the previous concussion. So I'd be surprised if he plays because of the situation of the season. But I don't think I'd rule it out.
Right. And I think that's fair. And I do think it's, as we talked about with Jeff Loggeman yesterday, Tony, it's different with a head injury, right? Because different neurologists, different doctors are going to have a different opinion about how soon they probably think you should never expose yourself to concussive head trauma. But, how soon is it reasonable for a football player to do that?
Yeah, it's what makes any conversation around concussion is always difficult because there's a lot of emotion involved. You see the hit on TV, and then you don't know what the tests are telling them coming back from it. So again, I always go back to there's a reason they put in the protocol. Those are the measures. Once you're cleared, you are cleared to be playing. So as long as he's cleared, then you try to take, I guess, the emotion out of it. I'm sure if you're the player, the decision makers, as much as possible in an emotional decision.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that the league didn't need to have all that much influence on how those things were going to work anymore, right? Like it needed to be independent outside of football people to make these decisions because the players and the teams are going to be like, well, can he play?
Right.
That's the big thing they're going to be talking about. They need it to be independent so that a doctor goes, he's not risking anything further, but they need that kind of thing with something that is as serious as head injuries.
As independent and as objective as possible, meaning baseline tests, once you clear them, once you were quote unquote back to normal, then that is the decision. It's not a discussion. It's not a question of want to, right? Like, I guess that's where I'm looking for. It's not a question of, are you gutty? Are you tough? Are you all this? It's, are the effects of that hit now gone from your system and allowing you to return where another one won't cause more risk because you had the previous one, is what they're trying to get to as much as possible.
Well, let's end on this. Just your thought. How does this team now mathematically eliminated from the playoffs respond down the stretch?
I think as well as can be expected, meaning anytime you're eliminated, the adrenaline and you lose some of the want to on some level because your goal is not there. But I haven't seen them lose passion, focus, etc. in the last 4 or 5 weeks, except for the Detroit game, when realistically they were out of it. So I think they'll still fight. I would think there would be a little bit of a movement. Doug was asked about playing Mason Smith and Jordan Jefferson at the same time. I think there'd be a little movement toward things like that. How much will they win? I don't know, because I don't know that they're very good.
Right.
So I don't know that all of a sudden they're going to get good.
It's more of an effort question than the results are what they are.
Yeah. I think they'll try. But they've been trying. So I don't know that you're going to see these great results. Although the schedule gets easier, so you might see a couple of more wins.
You got Huddle Up podcast tonight?
I do have a Huddle Up podcast, and I'm going to have Evan Ingram on the Ozone podcast. So looking forward to that.
Speaking of podcasts, Freddie T told me that originally on Sunday, the Pivot had Travis Hunter scheduled to join him, who may be of some interest to Jaguar fandom right now, particularly coming off that game. But because Fred couldn't be there, they tried to reschedule it, and we're hopeful to do that yesterday. Now that they've got to edit that and put it all together, but that may be coming very soon from the Pivot podcast, a sit-down conversation, of course. I said, Fred, if there's one question you've got to ask, it's how would Travis Hunter feel about playing in Jacksonville, FLA? So that'd be a good question.
I'd click on that.
Yeah, I would want to hear the answer to that. So hopefully we'll hear that. All right, John, thank you as always, and thank you for integrating yourself as seamlessly as you do with the J Fund Radiothon every year.
It's obviously an honor.
Yeah, it really is. Tom Coughlin's, we've been for years been calling it his life's work. I mean, he's got some great achievements. He's in the Human Being Hall of Fame, as far as I'm concerned, and continues
it's been a
to get
passion
back.
for 30 years for Tom. Like
it had Jay McGillis.
I remember when this
one
started.
Of his players.
I think 95 when it first sort of came into being in Jacksonville. It's an incredible marathon for him. I guess So
J Fund's provided over $28 million in support over the last 28-ish years or so, and that's pretty good. And we are nearing the $2 million mark. By the way, we got as much in donations in the first 40 minutes of this hour as we did in the first hour, which is fantastic. Take advantage. Still about 8 minutes left of those matching donations from Dandy Foods, who provided a fantastic lunch for all the volunteers here today. We appreciate those folks. Really, all of you out there. I mean, look, I'm occasionally sincere on the program, and this is one of the times. Jacksonville blows me away every single year. I have no doubt that we're going to hit our goal, but that doesn't mean you can sit on your fat butts, take that wallet out, and make a donation and help us get to that $250,000 mark. It's not for us, not for me, it's not for Tony or John or Dylan. It's for the families that need it. You heard from some great families, the Andersons today, and Tavon Sr. telling us about his son's diagnosis as well. So we wish the best for Griffin Anderson and Tavon Jr. and every other kid and every family out there being impacted by this. And just because we're going off the air, hey, look, blow us away with what you donate to while Helmets and Heels is on the air. We'd love to have the ladies come in and just crush our numbers. Call the Community First Hope Hub, which has a bank of volunteers down the hall taking your calls. 904-207-7070, 904-207-7070, or text the word GOAL, GOAL, to 44834. Rob Conklin, wear the hat in good health.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think that's pretty awesome. So there you go. Doom got off my Twitter block list for $100 donation back in the day. But Doom made a donation that his company matched of $1,200. So
you should block
$2,400. I should block him every year. I should block him practically daily. But I love Doom. But, he's like a brother. You don't always get along with your brother. But Doom's a good man, and we appreciate him stepping up. And everyone else out there, whether you're getting mentioned by name or not, we appreciate every penny that you have pledged to this cause. That'll do it for us today. We'll be back to more normal programming tomorrow, including, hey, Dylan, who's buying breakfast tomorrow?
It ain't me.
It ain't me, buddy. Let's go. Tony Smith going to dig deep into that wallet. All right, Mike DeRocco will join us tomorrow, and we'll be back to normal programming. Give as much as you can. Thanks for listening to the Jaguars Today portion of the Tom Coughlin J Fund Radiothon here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for